What is up, fantasy balls, team managers? You guessed it, we're back. It's football season. That time of the year. Let's get excited, fellas. First recap of the football season. Interesting week, right? We're obviously we don't know what are the teams to fear. Who's somebody that you can kind of ignore, right? We don't know that yet. But it's an exciting start to the year. There was no game of the week, so we're not starting there. I'm retroactively, I guess, assigning game of the week, because I guess this was a good game. I mean, it was a good game, but tough. So we're starting first with Team Wallach falling to the Seattle Sucker Punchers. That's right. The Sucker Punchers are back, baby. Starting off the season 1-0, winning this game 107.04 to 102.94, right? It's tough, right? Because Griff's first round pick, Jamar Chase, only had 9 points. But then he had Dallas's defense up against my New York Giants that put up 40. Jesus Christ. And then he also has T. Higgins, who had a fucking whopping 0. So it's tough because another layer, he didn't start Brandon Ayuk, who put up 32.9. Brochard did that in another league after I told him to start Ayuk. Different league, didn't start Ayuk. I told him to. That's what happens. So that's two people we know that had Ayuk on the bench for 32.9 points. So Griff falls, real tough loss. Starting the season 0-1 for Griff. Sucker Punchers looking pretty good though. Put up 107, right? That's respectable, especially when you consider two people had zeros, right? Drake London and Dallas Goedert both put up big goose eggs. Michael Pittman Jr. on the bench put up 23. Couple other guys, Rashawn Johnson of the Bears put up 17 and a half, right? Could have had some different things in there, and he still got the W, right? 107 points. That's a respectable number, right? We got to adjust after being in baseball for so long, right? We're not putting up 400 points a week, boys. Anything like the 120s is a good week, I think, based off of this week. The highest scores are the 130s, but 120s are the good. 100 flat is respectable. If you're not breaking 100, Jake, it's tough. Jake has a reason, yeah, but come on. Anyway, so Seattle Soccer Punchers going 1-0 on the season, second place in the Upstate Division. Great start for Alec. You love to see it for that guy. Really has battled. He's always been there, but he's never had it. So maybe this is his year. Next, another good game, 7-point difference. Crystal Gobbler, Johnny K. Sex himself, taken down Justin Brochard, 107.16 to 100.84. Close game. Okay. Josh Allen had a terrible game. Only put up 9 points. You expect more. But then again, John's quarterback only put up 6. Lamar only had 6. Saquon only had 9. Right? These are the guys John kind of expects to put up big numbers, and they didn't. And Burchard still lost, even with the 26.4 from Austin Eckler. Right? So, Burchard's going to blame this loss on Josh Allen. But when you match up side to side, can't really. J.K. Dobbins also went down with an injury, but he still got 11.7. That's respectable. That's more than Saquon got. I know Brochard's already dropped Dobbins, so he's no longer on the squad. But Brochard left 17 points on the bench. John left 15 points. So, again, no real excuse here I'm seeing. John's just got the leg on him. Brochard, suck it up. I don't know what to tell you. John equals his win total for baseball in one game. And John, I just got to say we're all proud of you, bud. I know you took a lot of hits in baseball season. But you came out strong for football. Hopefully this continues for you. You know, I think you're one of those teams that when you're doing better, the league is better for it. You know, we have those teams in the pros. I think you're one of those, buddy. When you're doing well, the league as a whole does better, right? So keep it up, bud. Hopefully you can keep it up. Hopefully you don't have another tough season. I know last football season was bad. Baseball was terrible. So hopefully you can keep this up. Next, we move to Barclays Thunder Thighs. Top scorer this week, 138.62. Taken down, win or lose, we booze, Chumba Reed, Brendan, whatever you want to call him, himself. 123.5 to 138.62. Eddie comes through, top scorer of the week. Big week for him. Really everybody across the board. Kyle Pitts is the only, but again, what do you expect from tight ends? 6.4 from a tight end. I know Kyle Pitts was wide open several times. I'm sure you guys have seen the clips. But 6.4, lowest score, and then 8.7. Everybody else was over 10 points. Marquise Brown and Kyle Pitts are the only ones that didn't get 10 points. So Eddie's team just firing on all cylinders coming out of the gate. Eddie's riding a lot of momentum right now, doing really good in fantasy baseball. He's in the champs, and, coming out winning week 1 for fantasy football. We now move forward to myself, the Sun Gods, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's where the name comes from, Chumba, you fuck. I don't care if it's not a great name to you. Yours is win or lose, we booze. Are you an alcoholic, bud? That's rude. That's rude of me, but maybe. I don't know. Are you? Do you need to talk? Are you okay? Sun Gods taking down Upstate New York Sucks. Connor riding with the same name as last year. Just like Griff, just like Alec. Still, Eddie has the same name, even though he doesn't have Saquon Barkley anymore, so I'm expecting a name change there. Don't really know. But Connor's one of the 4 teams right now that hasn't changed their name, sticking with the same name as last year. I took down Connor this week. Connor was in Europe. Not like that kind of takedown. I beat Connor in fantasy football this week, 134.48 to 110.46. Good game from Connor this week. He had Cooper Kupp in his lineup. Again, he was in Europe, so didn't look to fix his lineup, I guess. Had a wedding, whatever the excuse is. Kept Cooper Kupp in the game. Anybody on his bench, though, wouldn't have made a difference. Nobody had enough to cover the 20-point or so difference that we had. And, my team, some real good performances, but Joe Burrow really let me down, only put up 3.18 points. It was a tough week. Daniel Jones put up more points than Joe Burrow. So, tough week for the quarterbacks, but I'm not upset. My team, solid week. So hopefully this continues. Selfishly, I like it, And then we finish with our returning champ going up against the Honey Badgers. That's right. Return of the King versus the Honey Badgers. Jake Stern, what the fuck are you doing, bud? Aaron Rodgers got hurt in 4 plays. Figure it out. You got to see those things coming and adapt, honestly. 91 points. Only team that didn't score triple digits. I don't know what to say, man. You owe the league a chug. And again, a solid game for Justin, Return of the King. Coming back, won last year with his no whites allowed rule. And I believe he's already working to make that another thing. He made a trade. I don't remember exactly what it is, but he made a trade to kind of edit his team a little bit and get back to his roots. So that is the Week 1 recap. Let's look at Week 2 for Game of the Week. It's tough at this point in the season to pick a Game of the Week just because, there's not a ton of info yet. If I go based off of projections, which I don't love doing, that's 4, 6. John and I are separate. I'm going to say John and I are game of the week. Crystal Gobbler versus the Sun Gods. John and I are also rivals for rivalry week. I forget what week that is. So yeah, John and I game of the week. Projections right now have us separated by 0.1 point. Obviously that doesn't mean anything, but that's a close game. We're both 1-0. We're rivals. We'll be playing each other rivalry week, both in the Long Island division. So yeah, that's the game of the week. Crystal Gobblers versus the Sun Gods. And we will catch you, fellas, next week.